Hello there and welcome back to BeetleMakes. Today, we're going to be playing Undertale, but whatever I fight, I make. So, we're going to start our game. And of course, we're going to name the human Beetle, because that's my name. And yep, that's my name. That's Beetle. Alright, let's begin. So, I have played Undertale before, but it's been a while, and I'm very excited to play this through with you guys. So let's head down this corridor and into the beginning area, and look! We see our best friend, Flowey! Whoa there, Gameplay Beetle! You're going too fast. Let's explain things to the viewers, shall we? First off, we're going to be making every monster that we encounter once. I don't need an army of 15 froggets, just one pattern. Second, we're going to be making 5 monsters per video, not including the boss monsters. They'll have separate videos where I teach you how to make them. Finally, the patterns for all the monsters will be available on Etsy and Ravelry after we finish each area. So the Ruins pack will finish after we finish the Ruins, the Snowdin pack after Snowdin, etc. Alright, let's get back to Undertale. And I'm not going to read all the dialogue, but I am going to leave it on there long enough for you guys to read it, hopefully. So hi, Flowey! Alright, looks like Flowey's gonna fight us. Oh! So there's my soul. So I don't usually play Undertale on the computer, so be patient with me as I figure out the controls. Friendliness pellets. How sweet. No thanks, Flowey. Oh, I missed him. Okay, I'll humor Flowey for this playthrough. And hit the friendliest pellets. Aww. You know, Flowey, that's kind of mean, but okay. Whoop. I started making Flowey by making his petals. I made 6 petals in yellow. The petals are each made as flat pieces. And I make sure I weave in the ends on the petals so that they won't fray or come loose during the rest of the process. Now I start working his face. I make his face using cream yarn. I make the face as a circular piece. Then I start to work the petals in. So I stitch the petals in during the round. That way I don't have to sew them on. Then I insert the eyes, and now I'll close up the piece. Now I embroider on the smile, and after that I start working on the stem. I make the stem beginning with a flat piece. Then I work in the back loops to give it a sharp corner. I then decrease until I have a thin tube, and I insert wire into the base. I should have added weights as well as the wire, but I forgot to. Then I continue making the stem. It's a long tube where it tapers a little bit near the middle. And I continue to keep the wire in the middle of the tube, stuffing around it to keep it stable. Once I'm done with the stem, I sew it to the head. Then I can pose the stem to make it curved like Flowey's is in the game. And that's my Flowey finished. Let's get back to Undertale. Alrighty, now that we've made our Flowey plush, let's get back into playing the lovely game of Undertale. Alright, so Toriel is going to teach us how to work with the ruins. So, she's going to show us how to do this puzzle. Then we're going to head up and flip all the switches. Still getting used to all the controls, so of course I'm going to mess up my clicking sometimes and, read the text. Ooh, I guess, hang on. So we're going to have to enter a fight with this dummy. So I guess that means we have to make it? Yeah. So we're going to try and talk to it, because we're going to be playing pacifist this time, because it will be, I think, the best for me right now. Now I'll pause the game and make the training dummy. I make its head first, getting a feel for the size that I want it to be. I work it up in a factor of 3 so that it's a fairly gradual width increase. I'll insert safety eyes, then work on closing the piece. I'll stuff it firmly before finishing it off. Then, I work on the body. I make the body in a similar way to how I did Flowey's stem, by first making a flat base for stability. I'll add wire and weights into the base, then build up into the body. I decrease the body in a factor of 3, so it's a gradual decrease, like how I decreased in the head. Once I'm happy with the size of the body, I'll fasten it off and stuff it firmly. Then, I'll embroider the stitching details onto the body and head before I sew the head onto the body. So, we're gonna head over to this other room with Toria. Oh. Didn't mean to click fight. That was quick. I guess we need to make a Frogget now. Well, that was a quick encounter. Now we get into making Frogget. I start off with a sketch of Frogget so I can get a feel for all the shapes. I start off by making the eye bumps. I insert the eyes into them, but I probably should have waited to do this so that they'd be straighter. Then I make the head, starting at the top. I connect the eye bumps to the head and the round, then continue to make the head. I do some increases to give it more of a snout shape before decreasing and finishing the piece. The head looks a little funny because it doesn't have any embroidery on it yet. Then I start making the front legs. I just made a couple of tubes to connect to the body. Once the legs are done, I make the body. The body has a black patch on it to match the sprite in-game. I attach the legs in the round, making sure to stuff them and the body firmly before I start decreasing the body. When the body is finished, I make the back legs. I know that Frogget in-game doesn't have black legs visible, but it feels off without them. These are very simple, just little round bumps with a bobble stitch in them. Now, I sew the head and legs to the body. Sew on the embroidery. I embroider the face onto the black patch on the Frogget's belly and the other details, and I sew the legs down. I also embroider the facial details onto the Frogget's face. Alright, now that we've made both our dummy and our Frogget, we're going to continue with Toriel through this room. So we're going to go through this puzzle with her because it's a little too dangerous for little old Frisk. Or I guess Beetle. Too dangerous. Alright, we gotta walk through the room. Very ominous room. Absurdly long hallway later, we meet up with Toriel again. Of course I trust you, Toriel. Alright. So, now going to head into these next coming rooms and talk to Toriel again. And now we're going to save and head down through the underground. But first, I'm going to grab a piece of monster candy, because why not? So we're going to head down through this room. Oh, Whimsun! Well, since we're fighting this lovely little Whimsun, I guess we're going to need to make one. Whimsun is a pretty simple monster. I start by making its body so I can make sure that the other elements are proportional. I work color changes into the head to make its mouth. After I finish the body, I work into the leftover front loops that I left to make a ruffle at the bottom of the body. Then I make the legs, which are pretty simple. They're chains with a combination of double crochets and slip stitches into them. Then I make the arms, which are similar, only with half double crochets instead of double crochets. After that, I make the antennae, which are just like the legs but longer. Once all the black pieces are done, I make the wings. I make the wings in light blue, then work them as flat pieces. I repeatedly compare them to the body to make sure that they're in the right proportion. Now that all the pieces are made, I sew them all together, being careful to make sure that they're the right pieces, since some of them are similar. The last step is to embroider on the eyes. Now that we've made our lovely Whimsun plush, we're going to continue through the underground. Solve some of these puzzles along the way. Oh, and Toriel's asking her questions. And yeah, I did have to reset because I played through a whole section and then realized I wasn't recording. So, Toriel is going to ask some more questions that she seemingly already knows the answers to. Oh, another frogget. So we're not gonna make repeat monsters. It would really be a waste of time. But every monster that we make will be a new and unique monster. Asking about allergies. And then we're going to continue. And here's the leaf puzzles, so let's see if I remember how to do the leaf puzzle. Here, up, down. Oh, monster. 2 froggets. So we're going to compliment both of them. Alright. Here we go, first try on the puzzle. So let's push all the rocks. Oh, forgot about that glitch. Ooh, a mold small. So the mold small is actually going to be our final monster that we're going to make. A little anticlimactic, just being able to spare it right off, but I guess we're gonna go and make a lovely little mold small. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's go and make our lovely mold small. Mold small is by far the simplest of all the monsters that I make in this video. I just make a little round blob shape, then embroider the segments on. I try to keep them consistent in tension, but it's a little tricky. I also indent the center so it looks like the in-game sprite. Moldsball is literally just some sentient jello, so it's pretty simple to make. So that's Undertale Episode 1 complete! I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. It really helps, and it lets me know that you enjoy this kind of content. Be sure to comment which monster you're the most excited to see me make. This has been Beetle from BeetleMakes, and I hope to see you again real soon.